All right, John, we are back once again for another top 10. And this time, we're all about the quantity. We're about getting as many games in there as possible so we can just see as much as possible and get a real sense of a theme or a particular series or just any other random collection that seems to just work out for itself. Because we are looking at our top 10 collections and compilations of, I guess, of all time, so, at least so far, that we definitely enjoy. And it does. They pop up on a lot, but I don't know. I don't know if they always get a ton of appreciation because for a lot of people, this is the way you discover a series, and that's certainly been the case for me over time.
Yeah. I think for a lot of fans, if you've already played these games, it's always something to champion, but it's just kind of neat because you've already played them. But for
Mhm.
new people, this is a whole just a gateway to playing so much stuff. I remember growing up with Sonic Mega Collection. It was a cool gateway to playing the Mega Drive Sonics, but it also had stuff like Comic Zone and I think Rise Star was in there. So it became more than just Sonic. It was also about playing just all these other Sega franchises. So that was a
Yeah,
really cool way just to explore a bunch of things in one game.
yeah, it's a way to catch up in a lot of ways because I grew up year to year with
Mm.
I grew up with the Genesis, so I got all those games individually for the most part. But for anybody coming in later, yeah, that's perfect. That's
Yeah.
a great way to get to those games. So it hits those two audiences pretty well. You got those people with the memories of it and just want to have an easy way to re-experience them, and also people who are just experiencing it for the first time. How much value do you put into the bonus features, though? The artwork and the music and stuff like that? Because you have some collections that have a lot of that in there, and then you have other collections that don't. They're just bare
Yeah.
bones.
It is a really good point. I think you do tend to remember the packaging quite well. It might come up later, I'm not sure, but again, with Sonic Mega Collection, the sort of uh, museumy feeling music and the whole vibe with the comic books in there, I think that's just as memorable as some of the games. Just the way it's all linked together.
Mhm.
I'm currently playing through Mario Galaxy 2 on the Switch, and that compilation has no dressing. You put the cartridge in, and two icons appear on the home screen. It adds like a music player to the title screen, but there's nothing in there. It's basically just playing those games on the Switch, which is valuable. But I'm never going to remember what's unique about the Switch version of that game. It's just Mario Galaxy, but on the Switch.
Yeah, exactly. And then you compare that to something like Atari 50,
Yeah,
where the packaging is kind of as Natalie says, is the best part of it because your value may vary on the individual Atari games in the collection, but the historical value
yeah.
really props that one up.
Big for fans as well. Like these compilations can be more than just for newcomers. Tetris Forever is a really cool one. There's a
Mhm.
lot of variety of different Tetris games. Not necessarily all the go-to ways to play Tetris, but it's cool that they're there. It's just like a big museum. But there's also documentaries in there. So like
Yeah.
if you're a big Tetris like mega fan, you might buy that just to watch like the Blu-ray quality documentaries from the people who made all these games. So that stuff is super rad.
Yeah, and we need more documentary type material for video
Yeah.
games. There's so much history that is always under threat of just being lost.
Hmm.
So to have those ways of just compiling it is perfect. It's a wonderful part of it, but I'd say it's cool to look through. It's for outside of the documentary stuff, for stuff like music or promotional materials or other artwork. It's cool to look through it once, but it's not something I go back to a ton. I think the games do hold a little bit more
Yeah.
value to it, but it also is like you that first time going through is like, oh, look at this, oh, look at this, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So but yeah, that's sort of our breakdown and look at the as far as collections go. Uh this one I think it required a little bit more thought on like, oh man, what collections are out there because we and I didn't get a chance to promote it as much. I was quite busy this week, so this might be a bit on me as well. But we had 377 votes, which is solid. Not our
Mhm.
highest by any means, but solid enough. But I still think what we have here suggested is quite good. So, John, what is our number 10 collection of all time with 453 points?
You know, on the contrary to our usual audience, there aren't that many Nintendo compilations. They do re-releases, but they don't really compile stuff very often. Capcom do a lot of it. So I'll throw out one Nintendo compilation, being the Zelda Collector's Edition.
Ah, okay. At number 10, Halo the Master Chief Collection.
I think this should be much higher. I guess we'll
Mm,
see how the rest of the list goes, but
right.
this is a major game because you're compiling one, two, three, four. ODST and Reach came after as well,
Hmm.
but it also restored the online for all of them, every single one, and a full-on remake of Halo 2. I think this is one of the best compilations to ever exist.
It's so packed with value, and it's it also is. I can only think of this game and Atari 50 as collections that got DLC,
Yeah.
and that's cool to get a collection and all of a sudden be like, hey, here's more. If you want, and not be just a separate collection like the more recent Disney Afternoon, where you can't just get those two as DLC, those two new games as DLC. You have to get the whole collection again.
Hmm.
So to have it actually added in here and still maintaining the whole being able to swap between Halo 2 Anniversary and the Halo 2 original just to see the graphical difference is so cool. There's a big reason people were really hoping this was going to get ported to Switch,
Yeah.
PS5, because it really would introduce Halo to so many more people.
It would, yeah. It was a little bit iffy at launch because matchmaking just wasn't working for like a few
Mm,
months. You'd be in a lobby just waiting to be in a game, and by the time you got in, it'd be like a 3 versus 4 team. So that stuff was busted to begin with, but they did keep at it and they did fix it, and it's in a place now where like this is just a no-brainer game. And beyond having all these games, it also had a lot of extras. So when it came out, there was the bonus of having Halo 5 beta access. There was a Halo 5 prequel movie with like live action actors included in here. There's a lot of stuff, like a full on remake, like 6, 7 games in there, all with working multiplayer, all still played today. I think this is just crazy. It's like the best thing Xbox has done in like the last. Well, when did this come out? Like two, maybe
uh,
decade plus.
it came out in originally 2014, and
There
then
you
it came
go, a
out on
long time
Windows in
ago now.
2019.
Yeah.
Uh, and I mean, it even got some boosts on for the Series X
Mhm.
when in 2020, where it got up to 120 FPS
Yeah, it did. It
and
also
4K.
got some new maps for Halo 3 as well that were based on a I think it was Asian only game called Halo Online, which like
Oh,
reused the Halo 3 engine to make just a weird exclusive hybrid of other Halo games. And they just imported those maps and put them in Master Chief Collection around the time that Infinite came out. So we're talking like not that long ago. So some crazy support in this one.
yeah. Oh, I didn't realize that Halo 3 ODST was a free download.
Yeah,
They didn't
yeah.
even charge you for that one.
Yeah, yeah, I think that was like kind of an apology for how launch was handled. They just gave you ODST for free.
And that ODST is more solid than you would think.
Yeah, it's great.
So yeah, this is just a really solid one. Honestly, still kind of want to see on other consoles. Bring this to Switch 2 and PS5. Why not?
Yeah, yeah. Seems like
uh,
they're starting again with another Halo 1 remake, but this would be lovely on other things.
yeah, there's still value in this just to get as
Yeah.
much out there as possible. And potentially is this the best work 343 has ever done on the
Oh,
Halo
yeah, no,
franchise?
no question.
This is their calling. But there you go. The Master Chief Collection at number 10. And just to have a little bit of tease there, it only beat out number 11 by 2 points. So it'll be
Oh,
very
damn.
interesting to
So
see what,
barely made it.
yeah, it barely made it on. It's going to be very interesting to see what people think of what ended up at number 11. It just beat out. Um, so yeah, with that said, let's keep moving upward and see what our number 9 collection is, beating out the Master Chief collection by 27 points.
Okay. It doesn't give me much of a feeling for how we're going here.
No.
I'm gonna go with the Metal Gear Solid HD collection, the original one on 360 and PS3.
Oh, okay. At number 9, you got the company right. It's a Konami collection with Castlevania Dominus collection.
Oh, okay. This is like if you go on any online store that currently exists, this is like one of the best values you could possibly get.
Oh yeah. It's 3 fantastic games with so many features to accommodate the fact that these are all on the DS
Mhm.
and make each of these games work. Plus a brand new game, not a very long one, but still a brand new game that reimagines and honestly makes way better Haunted Castle. Plus all the usual bells and whistles that are involved in these collections. Konami kind of kills it when it comes to these collections. I think they learned from Silent Hill and just made everything better and better after that point.
Yeah. I mean, this again gives me no idea of where this list is going because two of my top picks are right at the back. But this is just extraordinary. You got some of the best games of the DS, some of the best Castlevania games. And like Haunted Castle had like no relevance to any of these. It was just super
Oh,
cool that they did it in the first place. Um, and yeah, it is awkward to bring DS games to other platforms, but these work really well. And all that variety of how you can display them is really cool. They're just awesome. Like, if you're someone who is like interested in trying Castlevania and you've heard that Symphony of the Night is like the go-to, I think you can question that a little bit because Symphony of the Night is great
yeah.
as it is. These rival it very closely.
Yeah, there's an argument for each one of these to rival Symphony,
Mhm.
just because Dawn does expand on what Arya put out there, and even with this version, kind of fixes the whole ceiling mechanic that you don't have to worry about it as much. Portrait of Ruin, again, great on its own. Order of Ecclesia is my favorite Castlevania, so it being in this collection is immediately
Mhm.
just a lot of fun. And honestly, uh, outside of a few select games, a lot of the Castlevania canon is just available to play now. Whether it's the original collection, the advanced collection, or now the Dominus collection. We need Requiem on other consoles so we can get beyond PlayStation, but that was funded by Sony, so it's unlikely unless they make a new collection. And
Mhm.
then we just need the 3D games.
Yeah. I can't imagine any other the collections are here because this is the peak. This is as good as it gets. But the original Castlevania collection is great too. The Contra collection is really good.
Mhm.
Um, I hope they do a Rebirth collection too, with like Castlevania: The Adventure
Yeah.
Rebirth and Contra Rebirth and Gradius Rebirth. So they don't deserve to be lost.
No, no, they really don't. I love to see those come back, and I love that it's so easy to get a hold of, and it helps facilitate. Hey, we got a new Castlevania coming. Here's some old classic ones to play in the meantime.
Yeah,
That sort of idea.
yeah. Konami have been really good at this. Um,
Yeah,
like, Metal Gear had a few misgivings, but they've mostly resolved them. Yeah, they just keep doing it really, really well.
yeah, absolutely. So yeah, the Castlevania Dominus Collection at number 9. Let's go ahead and move on to our number 8 pick, beating out the Dominus Collection by only 10 points.
Dang. Okay. God, this is really tricky.
It is really tricky because there really is no rhyme or reason, and honestly, I don't think you'll get a real sense of it for a while. Honestly,
No, my confidence is very low. I'll go with one of the many Kingdom Hearts collections. They're all the same, apart from some of them just don't have all the games. Whatever
I
one, the big
I
one.
did I did count a bunch of them separately rather than trying to figure out like how many like who did what at what time. It's just like here's all the 1.5 and 2.5, here's all for stories so far, here's
Yeah,
all the all in ones, that
we're
sort of thing.
doing Kingdom Hearts 3.4, the final game, whatever it's called.
All right, Kingdom Hearts. At number 8, John, you guessed this for number 10, The Legend of Zelda Collector's Edition.
Okay. So the Wind Waker pre-order bundle was a really
Mhm.
special one for me. Because my friend had it. I had a PS2 and he had a GameCube. And his dad kind of took like the Ocarina of Time disc and played that himself. And we were always really envious of that because as cool as Wind Waker was, Ocarina of Time looked cooler. Like just being on a horse on a field. So even though it's like a generation prior, there was this wonder that Ocarina had that we like were really envious of. So
Mhm.
we like one night on a sleepover, we just took his dad's Ocarina of Time disc and played that thing all night long, and it was really, really freeing. There's that no game I ever played that was like that, and I loved it. Um, and then later on, when I got a GameCube, I got the collector's edition and played Zelda One, Zelda Two. So like the emulation quality in these games are fine. Like Majora's Mask actually kind of suffers a bunch in this one.
Mhm.
But just the wonder of having all of this in one place, like way before the era of Virtual Console, um, was awesome. It just like it made GameCube this Zelda console with all these prior games and the Game Boy Player. So you can have like I Link's the Past in there too with Minish Cap,
Mhm.
and like Oracles and Link's Awakening. It was just it was a really off kilter Nintendo move to compile all this stuff because they never do this.
They never do it, and
Yeah.
they haven't done it since.
No.
This is like the only one. And I unfortunately missed this because I just never pre-ordered games that much.
Mhm.
I how did you get the I forget what was the method to get the Ocarina of Time and Master Quest disc? Because I did have that one.
Yeah. I
Uh
think you had to pre-order. It was like first print Wind Waker probably, rather than just pre-order.
yeah. Maybe that was it. Maybe that was it. But I had that. And that's how I played Ocarina of Time on my own. And yeah, I never fully went through Master Quest, but I enjoyed it. It was interesting to see what it was. But man, I had a friend that had the collector's edition. I was like, and there's no way for me to get it. It's like I was so jealous, and they're so expensive anymore. But obviously, it's real easy to play all four of these games now.
Yeah.
But at the time, it was like, man, I missed out on playing the original and Zelda 2 and in Majora. It's like you always hear about these things. It's like, dang it.
Yeah. I think Majora was somewhat of a more of a cult game than it is now.
Oh,
It was that
mhm.
weird Zelda that came out towards the end of the N64. I think a lot of people missed out on it. So this is kind of the way that many people got to play Majora, I'd say.
Yeah. It had already started getting a bit of a reputation around that point as
Yeah.
being sort of like a different, but also really good. It's
Yeah.
like, give it a try. And it's like, all right, let's just, I that probably would have been my chance to actually play through Majora if I had gotten this version, but instead had to wait until the Majora 3D.
Yeah.
But still, it's I mean, I think that's why this one just ranks so high because it's so on Nintendo, and it is a way of a lot of GameCube era kids to experience old school Zelda.
Yeah. Yeah, and it did have its problems. I remember Majora's
Mm.
Mask crashed a bunch. The frame rates went quite low, but I think you kind of forget all that in just like it's four Zelda games in one.
Yeah. You just don't get that. And for a while there, I was like, why didn't they include Link to the Past? It's like, right, it's on
It's
Game
like
Boy
they're
Advance.
selling that one.
They're selling that one. They don't feel like, and I guess we got NES Classics Zelda one, but
Yeah,
yeah,
they
that's
also
just
had
making it just.
there was some. I mean, I think there was a bit more in there actually. There was like Wind Waker demo,
There
and
was a Wind Waker
there
demo.
was also a little retrospective trailer. They called it retrospective. It was just like a trailer for every game in the series. So there was a little bit of dressing in there as well.
Yeah, a little bit. I can't remember exactly what was in it. I never watched those special promotions, honestly. It was the games that really caught my focus.
Yeah.
So yeah. Um yeah. As John mentioned that before, Thief of RPG, that yeah, at the time every Zelda game was playable on the GameCube thanks to the Game Boy player. So
Mhm.
got your value. So yeah, the Zelda Collector's Edition at number 8. Let's go ahead and move on to our number 7 collection, beating out Zelda by 68 points.
Okay, that's quite a big jump.
Mhm.
Huh. All right. It's tricky because we've had a lot of compilations, especially in the last 10 years. I'll go with a really cool one. A collection of mana with a brand new game.
Oh yeah, this is the first time we got Trials of Mana.
Yeah.
Um, at number 7, you're correct in going recent, but we need to go a little bit more recent with Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection Arcade Classics. And I'm not surprised. This was sort of like the impossible dream, and to have it go so far beyond any other collection of Marvel vs. Capcom prior to this point is incredible.
Yeah. Yeah. Everyone was basically just asking for Marvel vs. Capcom 2 with online again, which we got.
Mm.
But then you just get literally everything else. You get Street Fighter versus Marvel versus Street Fighter. You get Marvel vs. Capcom 1, Marvel vs. Capcom 2. And then there's some other games in there too. There's like a few beat 'em ups that aren't.
Well, you get the Punisher, which is sort of
Yeah.
like the first Capcom and Marvel crossover, which is just straight up beat 'em up. And then you get the X-Men fighting games,
Right.
Children of the Atom, then when this Marvel superheroes, then X-Men versus Street Fighter. And that X-Men versus Street Fighter is the first crossover game for Capcom. So it's,
Yeah.
it's just has that cultural importance
Yeah. You
of,
just get everything.
yeah. And the fact that every single one of these games are online and the online runs well is amazing.
Yeah, yeah, this was a dream game. And Capcom have done a lot of collections, especially with their fighting games. And I think there are some that surpass this that are probably on the list. But in terms of just listening and fulfilling those dreams, like this is about as cool as it gets.
It's what's made the Capcom collections so exciting because we got them. You started out kind of okay with the beat 'em up collection. That was neat
Yeah,
to have, and then you got the first fighting collection, which did well, but it's that was mostly Darkstalkers. It was cool to get Red Earth and a few other like the more niche fighting games, but then they just blew it out of the water with the MVC collection and Fighting Collection 2
yeah,
with the games that people have really wanted to see from them.
yeah.
And yeah, this is just pure fighting game history.
Yeah, maybe I'm offbeat here, but I feel like Fighting Collection 2 maybe has a chance of scoring higher just because of the variety of stuff in there. Whereas
Mhm.
as cool as this collection is, a lot of it is iterations upon a very similar formula, even if there's cool merits to visiting them. Whereas
Mhm.
Fighting Collection 2's just got a lot of different feeling games in there.
Oh yeah, there's stuff that you would not expect.
Yeah,
And just again, what people wanted to see represented in some way.
yeah,
Um, but this one, I feel like the impossibility of this one really helps it as well. It
totally,
just
totally.
like nobody thought MVC would be back.
No, no,
So it was cool. It happened. Very cool.
yeah.
So yeah, Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection Arcade Classics at number 7. So let's go ahead and get to our number 6 collection, beating out this MVC by 30 points.
I'm going to go straight on to the other one. So Capcom Fighting Collection 2.
Curry Fight, Capcom Fighting Collection 2. I think I just spoiled what it actually is because at number 6, it's actually another Dream Collection, Kirby's Dream Collection.
We never got this in Europe.
Really? Oh
No.
no!
It
Oh
always looked
no!
cool though. Always looked cool because we had like Mario All Stars on the Wii, which is literally the Super Nintendo ROM. You could take the
Yeah.
Wii disc out and it wouldn't change a thing because it's just stored in the Wii RAM. And then America gets this wonderful Kirby collection with all this dressing. You get like you got like Kirby's Return to Dreamland challenge levels in there as well, right? Like
Yeah,
there's
unique ones that were not
yeah,
in the original Return to Dreamland.
yeah,
So there's so much there. It's a collection of 6 games for Dreamland, Dreamland 2, Kirby Adventure, Superstar, Dreamland 3, and Kirby 64, which uh it was my first time playing a lot of these. Like it was nostalgic to go back to Dreamland 2, but I had never played Dreamland 1 at this point. Uh Superstar I'd played a little bit of, but man, to go beyond that and play Dreamland 3 and Kirby 64 for the first time, I was like, this is this is awesome. Like this is
yeah.
just a cool collection to actually catch up with the history of Kirby.
And on the Wii, I think you could argue that some of this stuff wasn't that exciting because it's on Virtual Console. But then you got
It's true.
Dreamland and like, all the Game Boy things in there, and it's like, well, that actually is that does make this cool.
Yeah. And I completely forgot. I don't think I watched them. They actually included 3 episodes of the anime in
Oh,
there.
so good.
Uh, Kirby Comes to Cappy Town, which I think is episode 1, Crusade for the Blade, which is the Dynablade episode, and Waddle While You Work. I don't know what that one is.
Yeah.
But they went all out with this one. They had a collector's book with a bunch of artwork from across the entire series, as well as a soundtrack CD.
Yeah. This is one that I have just marked for import sometime. Like I want to get this because it's super super rad. You know, actually on my bookshelf behind me, let me just grab it real quick. We've got a similar one of Dragon Quest that's quite similar to Kirby. One moment.
Let's see. I was looking up what Waddle While You
So I
Work
feel
is.
like this is a
Oh,
really
here.
cool one that won't make the list. The Dragon Quest collection, where you get
Oh,
both the Famicom and Super Famicom versions of 1, 2, and 3. So
oh,
very
that's
much unlike
cool.
Mario, because Mario is just the Super Nintendo ones. This just gave you like all the versions, and you get this super cool animated cutscene that plays before the games, like retelling the stories of 1, 2, and 3. And then you also get all this stuff here too. So you get like
Oh,
all
that's
that stuff.
awesome.
That's a rad set. So we got a few things like this.
Yeah. It was good for it.
Yeah.
Man. That's huh. I looked up which episode Waddle While You Work is, and it's the one that where King Dedede starts selling the Waddle Dees and to the
Oh
assistants,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and the town gets lazy because of it.
Uh-huh.
That series was so wild.
It was like Texan DDD.
Oh yeah. Australian Rick.
Yeah.
Um yeah, it's just a fun collection, a great way to get the Kirby with new material in there, really just across all of Kirby. So, yeah. Kirby, I never realized it never came out in Europe. I feel so bad for you
We
guys.
were robbed. Yeah.
You
I mean,
were.
we got another code R, but you guys got the Kirby collection. Who's to say who the winner was?
I think we might. Well, no, I'm
You also got
uh,
Excitebots. But
yeah,
then we got Disaster Day of Crisis. So
that is true.
oh
That's the next game from Monolith Software we're waiting on. That's gonna be a Disaster Day of Crisis remake,
yeah, definitive edition.
definitive edition. That's honestly, I'd be kind of excited for
Yeah.
that. Oh goodness, but yeah, Kirby's Dream Collection at number 6. So we've reached the top 5. Let's see, does it feel you have an idea of what the top 5 might be, John? Or are you still sort of grasping at straws?
I think I know what number one is. Um,
Okay,
and there's other games that I still have an idea of. They might be here, but I don't know. I don't know.
okay. All right. Well, number 5 beat out Kirby by 17 points.
Okay. This one is spread out far and wide because Mega Man's got a collection of everything. Maybe he occupies every spot from here on in. I don't know. But I'm just going to go with Vanilla Mega Man Legacy Collection.
The Mega Man Legacy Collection, and I did combine the two of them. I was like unsure if I should combine the votes for the two of those because um they're actually made by two different developers. One was I think Digital Eclipse, and then part 2 was Capcom. So
Right. But it makes for a bit of a boring list of if Mega Man Legacy Collection occupies 2 spots when it's just the
exactly.
same Mega
So
Man series.
yeah. At number 5, Rare Replay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, talk about dressing. This one
Oh my
is
god.
so cool. Like it displays every game in its release order. You get interviews, you get all this cool stuff. But something I think gets a bit lost now because we're far from its release is it was advertised as 30 years of Rare, 30 games, $30. This was a $30
Oh,
game.
that's right. It was only thank God that's such a good deal.
Yeah. And like there's Xbox 360 games in here. So like Banjo-Kazooie, Banjo-Tooie, Perfect Dark Zero, they're all based on the 360. They even use backwards compatibility to boot them. But if you were to
Mhm.
just combine those games, you'd far exceed $30.
Oh, easily, easily.
Yeah.
It was such a man. It was just such a cool collection. It made it was the only time I was like, I kind of wish I had an Xbox One
Yeah.
because
There were a few games that did us, like Killer Instinct, Rare Replay, Master Chief Collection, mostly old games.
yeah, it is mostly old games or new interpretations of old games.
Yeah.
But it was like it felt like the first time that Microsoft really took advantage of the fact that they had Rare
Yeah.
under their wing, and to go, you know, to have stuff all the way back in the ZX Spectrum to RC Pro Am on NES, and of course Battletoads and Killer Instinct Gold. Like there is such cool stuff on here, and I really wish they would port this damn thing. I know because it's going to be tougher because of the emulation.
Yeah.
Charge $50, I'll still pay it.
It would be cool. You're right. The reason is they won't do it is because of like half of these games run in Xbox 360 backwards compatibility. So, like Nuts and Bolts, Banjo One, Banjo Tooie,
Mhm.
Perfect Dark, they were all just running 360 versions of them. So if they were to port it, they'd have to redo a lot of these games. And I think we've kind of seen them try and do it, like because NSO is full of games that are in Rare Replay now.
Yeah, that's true. I was looking through here what it all included, and they have what they call a snapshots feature,
Mm. Yeah.
which is basically NES remix for their games. We have many challenges you could do, so
Mm.
that's cool.
Yeah. It came out at a time too where a lot of these retro features were quite novel. So like a rewind feature, that's pretty normal now, but back then there weren't that many games that did that. That's still very much save state time. I remember using that rewind to finish Battletoads for the first time.
I've still never, I've still never uh, beat Battletoads. I remember being at E3 and trying out the demo version. They had games available. Uh, I didn't realize that Battletoads had an arcade version, and
Yeah,
so
yeah.
that was cool to see.
It was. It's also neat that now we're getting these NSO versions. There are games that aren't in this compilation on NSO as well, so we are getting a bit beyond that. And when GoldenEye finally came out on Switch and Xbox, they just included it in Rare Replay in here. So it's technically 31 games now.
Oh, nice. I did not realize that.
Mm.
That's smart. Um, okay. Yeah. Apparently, the 360 releases installed directly onto the Xbox One separately from the
That's right.
compilation itself.
Yeah.
So that's where it's going to get tricky. Um,
Yeah, you get an Xbox
hmm,
360 boot screen whenever you load like Banjo-Kazooie or Nuts and Bolts or anything like that.
yeah. Still, that's that's really cool. Oh wow, the reward is the of playing through these games is the behind the scenes footage. See, that's smart. That
Oh,
would
that's
definitely
right. Yeah.
inspire me to do that stuff.
Yeah.
Um,
And they gave you original Conquer as well. Was Live and Reloaded in there? I think it was.
no,
I think
no, it was
it
they
wasn't.
chose they nope, it was just regular Conquer.
Oh, I think you
It
can
says
play
Rare
Live and
chose to emulate the
Reloaded.
original rather than using its Xbox remake.
Hmm.
So
I think you can
yeah.
still play that via backwards compatibility. So like it's on the console. Um, but that made sense. I mean, both
Mhm.
would have made sense. But if you have to choose any of them, the original is the one to go with.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, it's always one I wanted, but I don't have an Xbox One. So we'll see. We'll see if it ever actually comes out on other stuff. Let's go ahead and move on to our number 4 collection of all time, beating out Rare Replay by 63 points.
I will go with Sonic Mega Collection.
At number 4, you chose blue. You should have gone orange. It's the orange box at number
I
4.
I had this pinned at number one.
Oh, okay. Nope, it is number 4. And honestly, I wasn't sure. This one, I people were like that early, that low. What the heck? I think the tricky thing for the orange box is that it is a collection, but it's not a collection in the way that a lot of these other games are, where these are very at the time of its release, it was very current games. Like,
Yeah, like Half-Life 2 and Episode 1 were the only compiled games. Like Episode 2, Portal, and Team Fortress. I think Team Fortress 2 was on PC already, but for a console, like, those were 3 new games.
Yeah. So again, it was one of those games. It's like, damn, I kind of want to pick this up just because there's so much in there.
Yeah.
I didn't, because I already owned Half-Life 2 on PC, and I was like, I don't need to pick up the other ones. And I got Portal separately at some point, but still, as a collection, as a way to just as a value, holy cow.
I mean, it was like a lot of generational defining games. If you're interested in just one of them, like I got this for Portal originally because I thought Portal just looked so cool, and then it got me heavily into Half-Life. Played a whole bunch of Team Fortress 2. Like every single thing in here is one of the best games of all time, and you just get more and more and more of it. And like today, I think it's less of a thing because on Steam, Team Fortress 2 is free to play. Everything is on sale all the time. So the whole orange box thing is kind of its era because it's all broken up so much on Steam these days. But especially on 360 and PS3, like this was it was a no brainer. It's just why wouldn't you get it unless you've already played some of them?
Yeah, I mean, best way to play it on console. Only way to play it on console. But yeah, it's just, I mean, yeah. I would have. You can't oversell this. Like, Half-Life 2 is still considered one of the best games of all time. Portal was. It's so funny to look at the box saying the orange box featuring Half-Life 2 Episode 2, Team Fortress 2, and introducing Portal.
Yeah.
Just that, hey, check out Portal. Check out this new game, Portal.
and I think Portal was the driving factor for a lot of people. Because Half-Life, as cool as it is, I think it's one of the best games ever. But Portal was just so unique. And there was no game that looked like that. And games weren't really experimenting that much in like a first person perspective at that point. Like, if you're in first person, it's usually just for aiming guns, and this one was just giving you all these great like puzzle solving things. So it's so accessible to everybody. Like a lot of different demographics play Portal, and then you're sort of shoved into Half-Life as well because it's the same universe. And I think this is one of the best compilations ever.
Yeah, it's weird to think it's like it's one of the best compilations ever, but it's also like it was pretty much new.
yeah, it's true.
So,
which is that to its detriment or is that to its merit? Like, here's a bunch of new
I think it's
games.
more to its merit. It still kind of holds up. Like, it's easy to get these games separately now, but as you said, but I don't know. There's value in that. Like, holy cow. Like, this again, collections, a great way to introduce you to things. You're interested in Portal? Hey, have some Half-Life 2. Get you into that. Or hey, check out this Team Fortress thing, which just lasts forever.
People still playing Team Fortress.
Yeah. There's of course, it's so funny. There's so many 2s in this freaking collection. Yet we've not gotten a 3rd on any of them.
Not yet.
So, oh yeah, it's totally gonna happen. Totally, absolutely. But yeah, the orange box at number 4. So we've reached the top 3, and number 3 has beat out the orange box by 111 points.
Okay. I think this is probably number 2, but I'm going to throw it out here. Metroid Prime Trilogy.
Metroid Prime Trilogy. At number 3, Sonic Mega Collection / Plus. So you're just a little early.
There are Sonic collections with a lot more games than these, but I think these were such formative games. Because we didn't have a whole lot of retro collections in the PS2 and Xbox era. Mega Man did do some, and we had like some Metal Slug ones. But this just, like, Sega had gone third party, and they just gave you everything they had. The original Mega Collection was very Sonic heavy, but Plus gave you some Game Gear stuff. It gave you a lot of other franchises, a Comic Zone, Right Star. I think Streets of Rage was in there as well. There was a lot of stuff. And it got young John very interested in stuff before his time. Like this is kind of what's got me on that, just exploring older games because it makes you realize that even though the visuals are different, it doesn't make the games any worse. Even if anything, a lot of these are better than what was being released then.
Oh
It was
yeah.
just it was exciting. It's really exciting.
It's definitely stuffed to the brim. So, um, the the default games that it came with were Sonic 1, 2, 3, Knuckles, 3D Blast, Spinball, and Mean Bean Machine.
Yeah.
Then you could unlock, and this is even in the original Mega Collection, Blue Sphere, Knuckles and Sonic 2, Sonic 3 and Knuckles, and then for other games, Flicky, Rystar, The Ooze, and Comic Zone, which great stuff. And then with Mega Collection Plus, that's when you got the more of the Game Gear games like
Yeah.
Sonic 1 Game Gear, Labyrinth, Drift, Chaos, Blast, and Mean Bean Machine. Not all of those I feel like great games to get, but yeah, there's your plus.
I went heavy on every single game in this. I've
Oh
played
man,
Gems Collection as well, which had like Sonic R and Sonic the Fighters and Sonic CD.
yeah, that was a big one. I think just for CD alone, having that re-released. I never picked them up myself. Even I was tempted for CD, but I forget why I ended up skipping it. Because like I said, I grew up with pretty much all these games. I think the only ones on here I did not own as a kid was Mean Bean Machine and the Ooze and Rystar. Like I had access to just about every other one. So it's just like my Genesis is still over there, so I didn't need it at the time. But as you said, there's a ton of Sega collections out there. The one I appreciate the most is Sonic's Ultimate Genesis collection, which gets your basic Sonic games, but then just so many Genesis games that I, despite owning the system, completely
like
missed on.
50 games, maybe more.
50 some odd games, and you get the entirety of the Fantasy Star series on there.
Yeah.
It's an amazing collection, but it doesn't carry the cultural impact because Sega was probably smarter than they even realized with what they did to put Sonic Adventure 2 Battle on there,
Yeah.
then Sonic Adventure 1, and then the Mega Collection in there, and then Gems Collection, and just like, hey, we're multi-platform. Here's the history of Sonic, and all of a sudden, here's a bunch of new like kids that are getting into Sonic, and all of a sudden, new Sonic fans. Like, I
It's
think it
probably the
really just
smartest era. Yeah,
massively blew up their fan base
they
by
don't
doing
even
that.
do it now. Like now,
No,
now it is just here is the original Mega Drive trilogy. Um, they've done some other Mega Drive collections, but not in a long time. And even then, it's always Mega Drive. It's never Saturn. It's never Dreamcast. Um,
exactly.
yeah, they got it all out there. There was a little bit of discussion in the chat about whether this is 50 hertz or 60 hertz in Europe. So Mega Collection on GameCube is 60 hertz. Mega Collection Plus on PS2 and Xbox for some reason is 50 hertz.
Oh, that's
Uh,
dumb.
I didn't care about that then, of course, but you're now going back. It is jarring for some reason.
That is not worth it for those Game Gear games.
Yeah.
uh yeah, it's I really think it is like I honestly do think this collection along with Adventure 2 and 1 is the reason Sonic is still such a household name.
I think so too. Yeah.
And then just to immediately like, oh, we have a Nintendo audience here. Here's the Sonic Advance games.
Yeah.
Here's Sonic on DS. It just kept feeding them. It was perfect. It was just like there's tons of new Sonic games to constantly play. And
Yeah. It made a lifetime of fans out of a new generation, like new decade, new fans. They just got it all in.
yeah, it was cool. And like I said, I didn't pick up either that or the Gems collection, but I did get the Ultimate Genesis collection again, and there's got all your Golden Axes, Shinobi, Shining
Yeah.
Force, all the Streets of Rages, all the Vector Men. Like, damn. When Sega wants to, they can put out a damn good collection.
They can.
That's why I think
Been a
that's why
while
everybody.
though. I
Yeah,
can't remember the last Sega collection. It's been a long time.
yeah. I think the last any collection they put out was the Origins, but that had its
I
own
suppose so. Yeah.
yeah issue. I think that's why everybody wants to see like a Saturn collection and a Dreamcast collection because these Genesis collections were always so good. So
Yeah.
I don't know, but this is definitely like I think this might be like the best case of a formative collection, like the power a collection can hold over a series.
I think so too. Yeah, like Rare Replay is very cool for what it is, but it doesn't have those groundbreaking Sonic games. Like these are console defining, generation defining. Um, it's just at the time it came out and the quality it had, it was in another league.
Mhm. Absolutely. So yeah, Sonic Mega Collection at number 3. All right, let's get to our number 2 collection, beating out Sonic by 32 points.
It would be strange not to have any Mega Man Legacy Collection in here. Um, but I'm going towards two Nintendo games now. So I guess Metroid Prime Trilogy again.
All right, at number 2, Super Mario All Stars.
I'm gonna have to guess Metroid Prime Trilogy again next time. This is kind of orange boxy though, isn't it? Where they're remakes, they're new games.
Yeah, I mean it was a big deal at the time because one, you get these prettier versions of 1, 2, and 3, and it's the first time you got lost levels,
Mm,
which blew my mind as a kid because my cousin had this, and it was like, what is this? Why is it so hard? Why does Luigi jump like that? Oh no! It's like there's just felt like something was like, what is up with this game? Which is funny because it's also the easier version of Lost Levels compared to the original NES.
yeah.
But I think it's also notable because is this one of the first? The only other collection I can think of in the SNES era is Ninja Gaiden.
Yeah, I can't think of a whole lot. I'm sure there's some stuff out there. Sega did compilations sometimes, but it wasn't really a collection. It was just kind of shoving multiple games on the same cartridge. Like, um, I think there's like a Gunstar Heroes pack with Flicky and things. It's existing games
Mhm.
just bundled together, really, rather than a collection as such.
Yeah, but to go all out with Mario All Stars, I think
Yeah.
it felt like a big deal. Um, and a reason to pick it up again because yeah, you played these games, but look how pretty they look, and you got Mario in a magician's outfit, and that's
Yeah.
cool on the
And
cover.
these were relatively like really new games. You know, you're talking the generation prior. The gap between this releasing and Super Mario Brothers 3 must have been like 2, 3 years. Like it can't have been
Yeah,
much.
this released in '93, so and Mario 3 came out
4 years, I
in
want to say.
America in
89.
90.
Oh,
So
90. Dang, yeah. So yeah,
uh,
really short
yeah,
time.
3 years, and of course they got a future version, which I did count separately, just because I wasn't. There are differences between it. The Super Mario All Stars plus Mario World, which amazing value as far as that. But I heard it also has some issues
Oh.
with it. I'm not sure. I heard it doesn't play as well, which is why I decided to keep it separate. Um, but you know, I don't, and I don't, wasn't sure if I was going to re-vote on it, but yeah. Uh, Either way, it's like again something Nintendo just does not do. Look at
No.
the effort they put into the original All Stars collection compared to 3D All Stars.
All these years on, people were going like they're gonna do a new Super Mario Brothers All Stars where they're gonna remake every game in like the style of like update the graphics, or 3D All Stars. When that got leaked, people were thinking it's gonna be ground up, just like the original Mario All Stars. And every time it is as basic as it can possibly be. They never live up to what they did here.
Yeah, that's not Nintendo's bag anymore.
Yeah.
I I'm I'm very curious. Like like what inspired them to do that?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I guess there hadn't been a Mario platformer since World, which wasn't even that long ago. They just probably wanted something else out there, I guess. And they
I,
got a lot out of this too because they salvaged a lot of what these games did and turned it into the Mario Advance series, which aren't that different to this version of Mario 2 and Mario 3. So they got their money out of this
Oh yeah,
so much.
very much so. I was fortunately, there's a little bit of history here on the Wikipedia. So the concept emerged after the completion of Super Mario Kart in '92, and the next major Mario game, Yoshi's Island, was still in production, and that wasn't released until '95. So Miyamoto suggested a value pack containing all the Super Mario games, and it was Miyamoto's idea to give players a chance to experience the lost levels for America. Um, so that was sort of where the value came in. So then they just decided to rework all the graphics and get all that together, and bam, fill in that slot. We don't have a Mario game now. Let's get it in there. We need a Mario game.
I will say personally, as much as I respect this collection, when I replay these games, I do tend to go back to the original NES versions.
Same.
And especially with Super Mario Brothers 1, which I just don't really love how it plays in All Stars.
That's fair. Yeah.
Yeah.
The funny thing is, I can't remember if I own this on SNES, but I own the Wii version.
I like it wasn't like the box itself was kind of neat. Like it came with a little history of Mario book. It could have been worse. But back on Mario 1 though, like there's some quirks in there. Like when you're Super Mario, when you're the bigger form and you break through blocks, like in the original you bounce off them. In this one you just sort of keep going. Like there's some weird oddities that just kind of feel a bit strange in there. I think Mario Brothers 2 and 3 are fine. They're great.
Yeah.
And it's cool as like an alternate form. I like seeing the new visuals. I like seeing what they've done with just the black backgrounds. Like it's a cool way to experience it, but it's not my go-to way.
Mm-hmm. And it's definitely the way to play Lost Levels.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
There's no doubt about it. So I originally picked it up because I'm like, oh, this will be probably worth something in the future. It's probably kind of rare. No, look it on eBay. You get it for like $40 complete.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, yeah, oh well. But yeah, Super Mario All Stars at number 2. Let's see what is our number 1 collection of all time, beating out Mario All Stars by 94 points.
Well, it has to be Metroid Prime Trilogy.
At number 1, the Metroid Prime Trilogy.
Right.
Yeah.
Which it is very good. I don't know if I can still argue it's the best one out of everything we've discussed. But it was very good. You got like new play control versions of 1 and 2 in widescreen in 480p, and Metroid Prime 3, which was still fairly new at the time. Like in terms of value and quality, like this, it is extraordinary.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there is a lot of value there. I never picked it up. I just decided that I had them. I liked how they played. I just didn't feel the need to buy it again in this case. So I skipped it on Prime Trilogy because I guess the value wasn't there for me. But it makes sense in the terms of all the Wii U games that got re-released on the Switch because nobody really had a GameCube. This is their chance of experiencing those games that were on the GameCube that you missed out on. Bam, you're golden. You can play all these 3 fantastic games.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was me. I don't think I played Prime prior to the trilogy. I've got them all physical on GameCube now, but back then I think this is how I played Prime 1 and Prime 2. And they had difficulty options for Prime 2 as well, so it was a little bit easier, a bit more ideal. And I love the Prime 3 control scheme. If you go back to the GameCube Primes now, they're single stick kind of GoldenEye, and it works for the scheme they have going, but there's an adjustment there. Whereas with the Prime trilogy, it's basically dual sticks, with pointing. And I think that works so well even today.
Yeah.
It's so good, in fact, that the Prime Remaster just replicates that control scheme as an option.
Yeah, and it works relatively well, and they kind of even follow that with Prime 4 to some degree, especially with the more precise shooting you got to do at times. It always felt good, at least with Metroid Prime 3. to use the pointer controls. It felt like a natural extension. I never minded those single stick because they paced the game in a way to facilitate that control scheme.
Yeah, and it works for like beam switching and things. Like it works, but there's definitely a learning curve.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, this is a great set. Like you got a fairly new game in there. You got remastered versions of older games, and in Japan they sold the play control versions of 1 and 2 separately. So it was a really good
Oh,
bundle pack. We got quite a cheap physical in Europe, so it's just a cardboard sleeve on top of it. Whereas I'm pretty sure America got off like full on steel box for their set.
I think so. Yes.
Mhm. One of the
So
coolest discs, though, may I say. So the
it's the
disc is Samus's arm cannon, and the disc hole is where the beam comes out. So it's
right.
the cool disc.
uh, Looking just in the development history of this. Apparently, while Retro was finishing work on Prime 2, senior producer Brian Walker suggested Retro do something for the fans by putting all the games together on a single disc in a collector's trilogy edition. They then sent the proposal to Nintendo, who agreed, and development began shortly before the launch of of Corruption, uh, with a team of 4, because most of the team was working on Donkey Kong Country Returns.
I believe there were
So
achievements in here as well, if my memory serves me right.
there might have been. I don't
Like when
remember.
you beat bosses in particular, I remember a little icon
Oh
coming up.
yeah. The
Yeah,
credit system from Corruption was incorporated into the first 2 games.
that's
So
right.
by accomplishing certain tasks, you unlock in-game items such as artwork, music, screenshot feature, decorative items for Samus's gunship and Corruption, the
That's
fusion
right.
suit. That's how you get the fusion suit in Prime.
Yes, yes.
So yeah,
Yeah.
there
It
you go.
is a really good set, but I think from other games we've discussed, like the Orange Box, I think they do trump this in just quantity and coolness because those like entirely new games. This is
Mhm.
Nintendo's best value, probably. Maybe Mario All
Probably.
Stars goes above that. I'm not sure.
No, I think this is definitely up there with their best value.
Yeah.
Um, Yeah, it's quite good. I think to me there's more value to me there's more value in other collections where it's stuff I find harder to find. Though nowadays there's actually probably more value in the trilogy than there was at the time.
True. Yeah.
But that's just a personal perspective. And again, taking advantage of those new Wii owners to experience what they missed out on GameCube potentially.
Mhm.
So not a bad top 10, I'd say.
No, not. I
Not
think
not
everything.
exactly what I put.
Yeah, the order of the games aren't exactly where I'd put them, but everything here is great.
Mhm. Absolutely. So let's go ahead and break down our top 50. And John, I'm not going to make you guess for everything, but I did mention before that number 11 only missed out by 2 points from
Oh,
Halo.
geez, yeah.
Any guess on what that game was?
I'm not sure. I'm gonna say a Mega Man one though, or Kingdom Hearts.
All right. It is neither.
Huh?
It is The Great Ace Attorney Chronicles at number
Oh,
11,
okay.
which
Understandably,
that one makes sense to me
yeah,
because for us, those are 2 brand new games.
yeah,
And
yeah.
even in Japan, it's like sort of redone. So yeah, that there was something inherently cool about getting Great Ace Attorney Chronicles for the first time.
100%. Yeah, they were new games.
Yeah, brand new ones. So yeah.
I don't agree it should have beaten Halo though. I can see that going on live audience right now.
Oh, I know. I knew the Ace Attorney fans would be like, "No, that should beat Halo."
Yeah,
There's probably more value in the Master Chief collection, but it's Greatest Attorney is cooler to the fan base.
yeah, yeah.
I guess that's the way I'd put that. Um, at let's see, number 12. Not sure I agree with this placement, but I guess it's a way for people to play old games. Super Mario 3D All Stars.
Yeah, not one of the best compilations.
No, I mean it's cool to have those games.
Yeah,
It's the first time Sunshine's ever been re-released,
yeah.
but they're not exciting.
I played every game in here. I enjoyed it. I
Mhm.
had a good time. I don't look back on the compilation itself though as a high value one. The game's a
No.
high value. The compilation, not so much.
Yeah, exactly. And honestly, it's proven a great way for Kai to play my son to play all 3 games. Like, he's played through Galaxy 1. He likes using the touch controls for the collecting the bits and whatnot.
That's
He's
cool.
dabbled in Sunshine and, well, he likes to squirt things, but he's not gone beyond that because Sunshine is a little bit, rough.
Yeah. I think the thing this really had going against it is this is the time where the Mario 64 PC decompilation came out. And so fans were making like the CG looking models, widescreen, 120 FPS, 4K, and then this comes out and it's they redrew parts of the HUD and it looks
Yeah.
kind of the same. Like it wasn't comparable to what fans were doing.
It's the first time we got the Mario 64 version that removed the backwards jump glitch up the stairs.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
But yeah,
there's some cool stuff in there, but yeah, that also upset a few people. It's like, why not have multiple versions, which they could have done?
they could have. They could have. I don't. It just seems so bare bones.
Yeah,
But yeah. At number 13, Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney trilogy.
yeah. I
Yeah,
like these games better on DS. I think these are based on like the iPhone ports. I think so. Like they're
I
very
think so.
clean looking sprites, which I don't love as much. But in
Mhm.
terms of value, you get a lot here.
Yeah, it got it gets it across. It's fine. And yeah, these are 3 excellent games. Uh, Makes complete sense why they'd be up so far.
Mhm.
Uh, it is a fantastic package. That even got updated to be in line with the other Ace Attorney games with actual production lines. They actually gave more value to this collection
Yeah.
later on, which is very cool. At number 14, the Mega Man Legacy Collection. And I think
Uh-huh.
where this one kind of faltered, like as far as the like, why didn't Mega Man make it to the top 10? I think it's because there's so many different collections.
Yeah.
You
Where do
don't
you
have a
spread
focal
yourself?
point.
No one's going to make a list just full of different Mega Man collections because that's kind of boring.
Yeah.
Um, but this is kind of the golden standard, though. There's
Mhm.
so much in here. They split it up, but when you combine them together, you get basically every Mega Man game. It's cool that they got like the WiiWare ones with 10 and 11. They got the bad ones. They got the good ones. It's all there.
Yeah, yeah. It's having the Wii ones on there is a big deal. To have and Legacy Collection 1 was the first 6 games. Legacy Collection 2 is 7 through 10, which are the sort of the Wild West games almost.
Yeah.
Uh, um, and I'm trying to remember exactly how they were handled because think I can't remember if Capcom. It was Capcom or Digital Clips who went more all out with their version of Legacy Collection.
It's a blur to me. These are a long time ago
Yeah,
now.
it's all just bundled up now.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure. Um, I either way. uh, Number 15, Atari 50, the anniversary celebration.
It's phenomenal. Yeah.
Yeah,
It
I
gives
still
me
need to
full
get this.
appreciation for those games. It's maybe harder for everybody to get involved because
Mhm.
unless you're aware of that period, there isn't a whole lot of draw to Atari games.
Yeah, that's sort of where I come in. Like I played Atari games. I just don't, and I appreciate what they're doing with this. I just don't know how likely it is to like, yes, I want to play an Atari 2600 game or a 7800 or a Lynx or a Jaguar game.
Yeah,
Yeah, let's do it. Do it. It's it's a tough sell, but the package itself again is the sell. Like, man,
yeah,
that's really cool.
it is really really cool. Um, and it's a neat way to experience that era as well because it isn't really preserved. Like you don't really
No,
get Atari games re-released very often.
they have DLC for Pac-Man on Atari.
There you go, sold.
So that's because bad games need preserved too. Honestly, the big get is that they ever got a ET on that
Yeah,
collection. Number 16, the Ace Attorney Investigations collection.
just get them all there. Yeah.
Yeah, Ace Attorney. Mega Man was like, we're gonna split it out. All that Phoenix Wright fans, no, all of them, all the Phoenix Wright collections.
I'm not surprised.
So, and again, it's cool because it's the first time we ever got Investigation 2. With this collection, we actually have every single Phoenix Wright game in the States, which is a
Mhm.
really well in the West, which is very nice to have
Yeah.
finally, especially after hearing people say just how amazing Investigations 2 is. So cool stuff there. Number 17, the Crash Bandicoot Insane trilogy.
Yeah. I mean, these were they're the rebirth of Crash Bandicoot. He'd been missing for ages. They were $40. So they were cheap and they were desirable. Like people wanted Crash 1, 2, and 3 back, and they were full on remakes. Which wasn't really done. Like whenever
No.
there was a compilation of games, it was just the same game but in like 1080p, 720p. These were done from scratch. And they sold. I think they sold like 20 million copies. It was like
Oh, it
really really
was,
big performer.
yeah. No wonder we got a Crash 4, which sadly we were supposed to get a Crash 5, but
Yeah.
Activision.
Yeah. And I
uh,
do look back on these ones. It's kind of like Mario All Stars, where I don't prefer them to the originals, but I do appreciate that they made them really widely available.
I prefer 1 to
Okay, one is what? Yeah, that's one area where I'll accept that. But 2 and
1 is
3
better.
are on
Plus,
PS1.
it's cool we get some of the missing levels.
Yeah, that's true.
As part of 1.
Mm.
2 and 3, you can take or leave either of those. I think there's still value in playing through those, and the cohesive visual identity
Yeah,
across all of them is really cool. So, yeah, uh, it's sad that Activision had to be itself and
yeah.
stop all progression, because yeah, it's this is how you relaunch into getting people into more games. But
Mhm.
oh well. Number 18, the Capcom Fighting Collection 2.
Yeah. I think this is the coolest one they've done.
Yeah,
You get Power
agreed.
Stones in there. That's kind of what sells you on it. But then you get like Rival Schools, and you get all these other just different
Capcom
games.
versus SNK.
Yeah, yeah. It's just a
Yeah,
really solid set, all with online
yeah,
as well.
yeah. I still need to pick it up just because I did get into King of Fighters a little bit ago. So I having the knowledge of both Capcom and SNK, so I was like, yes, I do want to check this out.
Mhm.
um, Number 19, the Castlevania Advance Collection.
Really good, really good.
Uh,
More of a natural fit because it's not adapting a DS game. It's very simple. But the games themselves, they're not quite as cool as the best of the DS, but they're still very good.
Yeah, I mean they do gradually get better, and it's almost worth it just for Aria of Sorrow alone.
Yeah.
That's quite good. Uh Oddly enough, they decided to package in Dracula X from Super NES in
That's
as well.
right, they did.
I don't know why.
Yeah.
I guess sorry you couldn't have Requiem. Here's Dracula X, which is not as good as Rondo, but you know
Yeah.
what? Here you go. But yeah, it's the era of Konami finding their footing in what they want to do with the handheld handheld Metroidvanias.
Yeah.
So I think there's still value there. Uh, Actually, tied at number 19 with it is Kingdom Hearts HD 1.5 plus 2.5 remix. Like I said, I counted all the Kingdom Hearts collections separately because hell, if I'm going to try to try to
What's the difference
marry
between
them all
this and
together.
Final Mix? It's just it doesn't have 2.8 Birth by Sleep, is that it?
Yeah, it doesn't have the 2.8. That's part of the story so far, or all in
Yeah.
one, which includes Kingdom Hearts 3.
Okay. Yeah. And they had to with one, they had like partially remake it, didn't they? Because they lost part of the source of
I
the
believe
original.
so.
Yeah, so I think the models are a little bit different.
Yeah. So, I mean, I, the things with the Kingdom Hearts collections, no matter which one you choose, you're getting a hell of a value
Yeah.
because they do clean them up well. You finally get the final mix versions, which was a huge deal at the time
Yeah.
because the West never got those. Um, and it is so easy to get into Kingdom Hearts because they just have all these games all in one.
Mhm.
But yeah,
They need to just give this a Switch 2 port now because
that's
anything with a cloud version just needs a native port now on Switch 2.
exactly just what is the Integrum collection or whatever the hell they call it on the
Yeah.
PC.
Yeah,
Just put that on
just port
Switch
it.
too.
Yeah.
People will eat it up. Speaking of Square Enix, at 21, Final Fantasy Pixel Remaster Collection. So
Mm.
Pixel remasters of Final Fantasies 1 through 6.
I've got my problems with these, but the just doing them all is great. Just having
Yeah.
them all there is great.
Yeah, having them there is a lot of fun. It's the first time we've gotten Final Fantasy 3 in essentially its original form.
Yeah.
Um, you get a pretty consistent style and some quality of life stuff. The new music is great. It still makes me laugh every time I try to go play one of these games and I put it in the cartridge into my Switch, because
You
it
get like
just launches
6
all
icons. Yeah.
6 across the line. So I was like, oh, okay, well, there they are.
Yeah. My biggest weird issue is the text just doesn't move. There's just no animation. Like every time you
Oh
go to
yeah,
page, it
just
just comes
pop,
with a
pop.
blank text box. Just doesn't feel like anything's moving.
Mhm.
And the scrolling's a bit weird too. Where it's not in. It doesn't sync to your character like perfectly. But other than that, they're good. They're good. They're fine.
Yeah, yeah. Number 22, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: The Cowabunga Collection.
This is a very
Uh,
good one.
Again, another line of Konami really doing these collections well, because this feels like Marvel vs. Capcom, where nobody expected this to get a collection of this
Oh
caliber.
yeah. I think you casually you sort of go for Turtles in Time, and then you just get all these other games as well.
Mhm. I mean, to me, it was like I've always loved. I grew up with the NES for the trilogy. Really,
Yeah,
loved the arcade game. This is my first time to actually beat the impossible difficulty it felt of Manhattan Project,
yeah.
as well as TMT1, because God, that game kicked my ass as a kid. Plus, to get all the fighting games and handheld games, it's just a really solid collection.
It's a really good set. Yeah.
Mhm. At 23, the Spyro Reignited trilogy.
Same thing as Crash. They just did it
Yep.
again.
Except they didn't get give Spyro a fourth game. They just they took the developers of this trilogy, this collection, and put them on Crash 4, and they still did a
Yeah.
good job.
They did a great job, yeah. And I think this one also sold really well. It
Mhm.
wasn't like 20 million, but it sold really, really well.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely wasn't as high, but
yeah,
very solid.
yeah.
Um, let's see. Although the motion blur initially was pretty rough.
Oh, yeah,
Or the
yeah.
yeah. 24, the Mega Man Battle Network Legacy Collection.
These are the best-selling Mega Man games, I believe, like of all of
Yeah,
them.
yeah. This collection sold like hotcakes. Did it eventually beat out Mega Man 11? I can't remember.
I think it's the best-selling. Yeah, I think it beat 11.
Yeah, and I've been slowly making my way through. I've beaten the first two games now of them, and they're solid. They're fun in their own way, but you can see how they're finding their footings. Where one is good at the time, but then you play two, and where they make some improvements, like, oh, okay, this is much better. But then two has a certain mission towards the end that sucks. It is a pace killer. But I've heard it just gets better and better, and it is a complete story. This is like it's like there's no like lingering anything for this. It's just bam, here it all is. So
Mhm. It is funny, like just to compare Nintendo and Capcom. Obviously, the games are the franchises are valued very differently, but this just gives you every game, every alternate version of that game, and then you get Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green. That's just like
buy them
I need no
separately
excuse. Yeah,
for each language.
yeah.
Oh gosh. At number 25, the Mega Man Zero slash ZX Legacy Collection.
This is a cool one as well. 'Cause you get DS games. DS games are always interesting to like how do you make them work?
Yeah. I mean, the Zero quadrilogy is fantastic.
Yeah,
Tough, but fantastic. And I think a lot of people might have missed out on ZX.
yeah, I think so.
So having the chance to play those games as well um is really cool. And even though they aren't the best handled Metroidvanias, there's still some value there. I
Yeah.
think it's
In this era, we complain there's not enough Mega Man. Back then, there was too much Mega Man. So
oh my gosh.
keeping up with all of these sub-series was nearly impossible. So these
I,
compilations are the easiest way to do it.
I do my personal streaming over on Twitch, and one of the things I've been doing for the last year and a half almost 2 years now, I think, is playing through every single Mega Man game in release order, and I'm halfway through every game released so far, uh, and I have them split up into quarters. The third quarter of the Mega Man releases literally covers about 5 years.
Yeah.
That's how just packed Mega Man was in that time frame, the early 2000s.
Mm-hmm.
Just crazy how prolific it was. But because not only were you getting Zero and then eventually ZX and the Battle Networks, but you were still getting X7 and X8 during all that.
Yeah.
So, and that was, there was get the X collections and the anniversary collection for Mega Man. It's just like, good God.
Yeah, they didn't stop.
No. At 26, Sonic Origins / Plus.
That's an interesting one to include here, to be honest. Like they have their value. They're cool ways to play the games. I don't know if I'd include them in a ranking of top compilations though.
I think it has the sort of production value thanks to the animated stuff. Plus, it's the way to get the Taxman versions of Sonic 2 and Sonic CD. So there's value in having those versions specifically, but it's not a perfect collection.
Yeah, it's not bad. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's not much to say, to be honest, with this one. It's got its merits. They're cool alternate ways to play. But I think we've had better compilations than this.
Mm-hmm. At 27, Sonic Gems Collection.
I think this is a cool one because it's not a collection of like desirable games other than CD, but it's nice to have that. Just some weirdo games.
I think that's what people want of other games. Like let's get the weirdo Castlevania games. Let's get the weirdo Mega Man games in a collection.
Yeah.
Why not?
And I legit grew to really like Sonic R and Sonic the Fighters through this. Because they're actually like a little bit improved from their original forms too. Like Sonic R's got way better draw distance than what Sega Saturn has. So they properly ported that one rather than emulating.
Mm-hmm.
And Sonic the Fighters isn't on anything anymore. I know that's not true. It's in Yakuza. It's in Yakuza now, isn't it?
Oh, of course. Yeah. You gotta rely on Yakuza for some of those preservations.
Yakuza counts as a compilation, I guess.
I guess. But yeah, the three main ones were CD, Fighters, and R, and then of course they had the Game Gear games again, which were the ones that weren't featured in Mega Collection Plus, that were also unlockable in Sonic Adventure 1 DX.
Right. Yeah.
Its unlockable games though were much better because you got Vector Man 1 and 2, Bonanza Bros, and all 3 Streets of Rage games.
Yeah.
So that's pretty solid. Let's see. At 28, Castlevania Anniversary Collection.
Mm-hmm. Very good.
Excellent one. This basically, you want your classic Vania, this is how you do it. And I'd say all those games are worth playing except for the adventure. And honestly, fantastic to get Bloodlines re-released. That's sort of the crown jewel of that one. Bloodlines is really good. Mm-hmm. At 29, Apollo Justice Ace Attorney Trilogy.
Yeah. Is that all of them, or is there one more?
That's all of them. That's all the Ace Attorneys now.
Right.
Not too surprising. Apollo's kind of at the bottom, but
yeah.
No, well. Number 30, the Metal Gear Solid Master Collection Volume 1.
So this on Switch particular, this had problems. I think as a whole, it was fine. They just kind of ported the HD collection from 360 and PS3 and didn't change anything. So the title screen still said like 2011 on it. And it was still 720p for a while. They've updated them to make them better, but like I don't know if this is like the best compilation, but you get a good version of one in there.
Yeah.
And they have updated them since, so they're fine.
I'm kind of surprised it did better than the HD collection that came out on PS3 and 360.
Yeah, I think for its time that was a better collection. And Peace Walker's in there as well, which that was kind of the start. Like dual stick Peace Walker. That was even if you played Peace Walker, that was kind of a reason to get that.
Yeah, for sure. At 31, the Mega Man X Legacy Collection. And I'll be honest, I'm not too surprised that this one's at the bottom. Because X has the highest highs, but the lowest lows.
A lot of people play Mega Man X1, maybe X2 and X3. Not that many people see it through, though.
the best two Mega Man X games are X1 and X4,
Mhm.
no doubt. So you have this really quality Mega Man Legacy Collection 1, and then you're like, well, if you really just like all the Mega Man games, enjoy X5 through 8,
Yeah.
where you
But
get a decent game with 5, okay with
yeah,
5, a game with a lot of potential with 6, and a pretty okay game with 8.
it is cool to just re-release everything though. It's
True,
cool to just even have the bad games re-released.
exactly. Um, At 32, Super Mario All Stars plus Super Mario World. Like I said, I
Okay.
kept those separate. If I put them together, it would have beaten Metroid Prime. But
Okay, interesting.
yeah.
Hmm.
Where I lost my place. Oh no. 33, Uncharted the Nathan Drake collection.
See, these are good. My
Mm.
issue is they eliminate the multiplayer, which I wish
Yeah,
they
why did they do
kept.
that? Especially because back on PS3 when they released like the Ratchet and Clank collection, they brought back the Ratchet and Clank 3 multiplayer
Yeah.
for a time.
And Uncharted 2's multiplayer is excellent. And it was taken
Mhm.
down on PS3 at that point. So this was a really good opportunity to bring it back, add a lot of value there, and they didn't. And they did the same thing with the PS5 collection of 4 and Lost Legacy. They took out
Mm.
4's multiplayer. I don't know why they keep doing that.
I don't know. I guess they just decide it's not worth the effort.
Yeah, it's a shame.
Which is, yeah, it is a shame. Um, 34, Danganronpa Decadence.
Yeah, I mean, this is good. Just every Danganronpa.
Yeah, except for Ultra Despair Girls, but
Oh,
oh
that's
well.
right. Yeah.
Uh, it's I have a soft spot for Ultra Despair Girls. It's different, but there's something appealing about it to me.
Yeah.
At 35, Mass Effect Legendary Edition.
So, if I'm
One, two,
remembering this
three.
right, which one's Legendary Edition? Was this the remake of 1 or was this the
I think it's just a compilation of all three.
Okay,
Uh, let's see here.
I've lost track.
Yeah, it's a compilation of 1, 2, and 3, remastered with visual enhancements, technical improvements, and gameplay adjustments.
Okay.
1 got the most extensive upgrades though.
That was it. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I haven't played this one.
Yeah, I haven't either. I played 1 and 2, never played 3.
Mhm.
Honestly, Shell Shock's right. It would make sense for EA to bring this collection to the Switch too. I don't know if they'll do it, but
I remember with Wii U, they brought 3 to Wii U and then brought the whole
that's right.
trilogy to every other platform at the same time.
Yeah. Oh my god. It's rough. Um at 36, Kingdom Hearts all-in-one package.
It's the same thing with more games.
Yeah, there's more games. 37, Zero Escape the Nonary games.
This is a very cool one. Yeah.
That's a cool one. Yeah. That's how you get 999 and Zero Escape.
Mhm.
So very much worth it for those visual novels. Absolutely one to keep an eye out on. Um at 38, Kingdom Hearts The Story So Far, which is
Okay.
all the games up all in one is all the games plus 3. This is all the games except 3. 39, Shovel Knight Treasure Trove.
I guess that is a collection. Yeah.
Yeah, because they were all released individually. Then they got this whole collection for it.
Yeah.
So
It's a
yeah,
collection that becomes the default way to buy it, isn't it? Like it's
yeah.
if you were to see this on store shelves, you'd buy that collection. But it is like what I don't know how many games at this point. A lot of games.
I think 4,
Yeah,
4, maybe 5, because they have a fighting game in there too.
yeah.
I don't know. It's crazy. At number 40, Faith the Unholy Trinity. Are you aware of this game?
I don't think I know what that is.
This is a horror indie game that was released in 3 episodes. Each very much Atari. I think it's like almost like Atari-ish graphics. And this just gets you the entire series in one
Cool.
package. So I think it's just a default way it's sold now.
Huh. All right. Yeah, I'm not too aware of this one, but it looks really neat.
Yeah. Similar to that is one I had to look up. I've never heard of this one before. Anthology of a Killer.
I'm not sure.
Anthology of the Killer, which is, according to this, a series and collection of 9 horror comedy games that were developed by Irish independent game developer Stephen Gilmurphy. And it's a collection of, of those 9 games. Voice of the Killer, Hands of the Killer, Drool of the Killer, so forth. So
Cool.
they very much look like Flash to me.
Yeah, it's kind of like MS Paint looking drawings and text boxes, but you can get a cool twist on that with horror, where it
Yeah,
kind
you
of looks
can.
basic and then you like turn it dark.
I did not hear about this despite coming out in 2024,
Yeah,
but
nor
it's
did
also
I.
Windows exclusive, so
Maybe that did it.
makes sense. um, at 42, Collection of Mana.
Yeah, I think this is way better than it gets credit for.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
mostly for
I
Trials of Mana.
love I love Final Fantasy Adventure. I still need to play Secret of and Trials, but I did play through Final Fantasy Adventure and just had a blast with it.
I
Did
think I
not.
prefer. Sorry, you go ahead.
Okay, I was just saying I did not pick up the Trials of Mana remake though because I
Well, I
had
was going to
this.
say I think I prefer Trials of Mana in this collection. They came out around the same time, maybe a few months apart.
Yeah,
The remake's good, but I think it feels a little bit more bloated than the original does, and the voice direction is something else.
questionable.
So just having it in its raw form, where you can
Honestly,
interpret your own
the
voices, is nice.
the demo is what told me not to pick up that game because of that voice direction. It's like,
Yeah.
oof.
It is some of the wildest stuff you've heard in this era. Like, it feels like it comes from the 90s.
It really does. At 43, Sonic's Ultimate Genesis Collection.
Yeah.
We spoke about this kind of in length before, but it's really good. At 44, Capcom Fighting Collection, the original with all the Darkstalkers and Red Earth and all that. At 45, another collection I was not familiar with, A Year of Springs.
I'm not too familiar with that one either.
It is a collection of 3 games, visual novels, where it's about 3 different women. So you get all their stories collection. So you got One Night Hot Springs, Last Day of Spring, and Spring Leaves No Flowers. So you get those 3.
Cool.
So neat. That's interesting to see that some of these games that we've never heard of actually make it into the list.
Yeah, this one's only $4.99 as well, and that's at a full price, no sale.
Yeah, and there's currently a 30% sale right now.
Oh wow!
So yeah, so it's pretty good. Actually, oh, never mind. I saw like a higher price, but it's because it's just if you get the soundtrack as well. I always miss that. 46, the Final Fantasy X and 10-2 HD remaster.
Yeah, this is an interesting one because they're fine ways to play the games, but in terms of preserving them, much like Kingdom Hearts, they lost a lot of it, and so they had to remake a lot of the models, and a lot of those faces are. I guess you get used to them, but those faces are quite different to PS2.
I don't think it's something you'd notice unless you put them side by side, but once you do, it's hard not to notice.
Yeah, like I just outright don't like how they look here, but yeah, if you're not comparing, maybe it's fine.
I think that's the big difference is like, because I didn't, I was like, oh yeah, it looks like I remember, and then you look at it, it's like, oh no, it is not. At 47, Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Collection.
This is like the first like whack of Capcom doing their little fighting compilations, and it was super cool.
This was sort of around the same time as the first Mega Man Legacy Collection, because this was also done by Digital Eclipse.
Yeah.
But Digital Eclipse also struggles apparently with online, because they've done this collection, the Samurai Showdown collection, and now Mortal Kombat, and all 3 of those games collections has not great online, which kind of kills the vibe for a lot of people of like, hey, I can play Street Fighter, Third Strike online. Not well, but you can.
Yeah. There's, in terms of variety though, you get everything. Like I said, every version of every Street Fighter
you
from
got
the beginning.
this first time you got Street Fighter 1, which again, not a great game, but still neat. It's awesome from a casual perspective, not so much if you want to get serious into these games.
Yeah, and the year prior we had Ultra Street Fighter 2 on its own.
Oh yeah.
And I think that game had pretty good online. So and
I
even
I
Ryu and
think that
Violent
that
Ken.
might be why Capcom took over. It's like, you guys just can't handle the online. People expect this, so we're gonna just do it ourselves.
Yeah, maybe.
At 48, Tetris Forever.
Which is great. I don't think it's got like ultra desirable Tetris in there. Like it's got
Mhm,
lots of different forms. As like a non Tetris fan, I don't think there's like one version that's like you've got to play this one. But as a
mhm,
Tetris fan, you get a lot of weird stuff, and all that documentary stuff just ties it together.
yeah. Um, let's see. At 49, Mega Man X Collection. This is the PS2, GameCube,
Oh, like the anniversary
Xbox version.
one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
their version of the anniversary. And the only way we ever we got a re-release of Mega Man Battle and Chase in here as well.
that's right. Yeah.
So it's Mega Man X 1 through 6 plus Battle and Chase.
Yes. Yeah. And they're good collections. They've probably been overthrown in basically every way by the legacy collections, but
Uh,
they were cool for its era.
I mean, I broke it out just to be able to play Battle and Chase though.
Yeah, yeah.
That's a different kart racer. Not a great one, but an interesting one.
Mhm.
And finally at number 50, Super Marathon,
Super
which
Marathon.
which is just a collection of Marathon 1 and 2.
Oh, okay. Yeah, cool.
Yeah, I had to look it up because I was like, what the? Because this is well, the crazy thing is this is a collection from 1996,
Yeah. How odd.
and it's a bundle of the Pippin versions of Marathon, yeah, 1 and 2.
Hmm. Okay.
So yeah, uh, yeah. I honestly was surprised there was that much of a knowledge base on it because I had no idea.
Yeah. There's an alternate universe where Rayman's here. Because that Rayman collection, I think it's cool, but it's the music does just like
Mhm.
it's you can get used to it, but it doesn't make it a top tier compilation.
Well, it's funny you should say that, John,
Yeah.
because at number 51, we have Rayman 3 and Winnie the Pooh's Rumbly Tumbly Adventure collection
That beats out the new Rayman collection.
and UFO 50 and Yakuza Remastered and Metal Gear Solid the Legacy collection and BioShock the collection and Sonic Jam.
You're telling me that Rayman 3 and Winnie the Pooh's Rumbly Tumbly Adventure beat out that was like a Rayman, I think it's like 10th anniversary collection that had like Revolution and 3 and Arena all bundled together. Rayman 3 and Winnie the Pooh beat that out?
Yep. Yep. Only lost to Super Marathon by 3 points.
God damn. No
uh,
Pikmin 1 plus 2 though. The Reddit's slacking.
I did not reach Pikmin points to find out completely. Let's see, 2, 6, 17, 40. Nope. Pikmin 1 and 2 lost out.
Dang.
So
Not that it deserves to be. No one looks at Pikmin 1 and 2 and goes, that's one of the top 50 compilations.
no, they do not. The Sly Cooper collection got mm, it probably would have made it up there. It was so low. It's one of those things I have to count, but I go in order of when it gets in there, and then I just build up to that point where there's less of seeing how all they combine. So it might get above, but I went far enough that I feel confident that it wouldn't have made it into the top 50.
Mhm.
So there were votes for the Capcom Arcade Stadium, but not enough. And should also be mentioned that at with 45 points, tied with the recent Super Bomberman collection is the Sonic and Garfield pack. So there's some meme collections in here as well.
Yeah.
Oh God. But yeah, that is our top 50 collections. Is quite the selection.
Yeah, it's a shame that all of those like PS3 era collections weren't included. Like no Sly, no Ratchet.
Yeah,
No,
there's votes for them. They just
yeah,
not enough.
yeah.
Not enough.
God of War had one with like everything. It's like 1, 2, 3, the PSP games. I think what was the last one called? The one that came after 3.
Oh, Ascension.
Ascension. I think that was in there too.
Yeah. Like they might have gotten close, but not enough to get into the top 50.
Yeah.
So just the way it is. But I do my best to get all these as much as possible. I stopped at Namco Museum because that refer to God knows how many different games. There's no one Namco Museum. But that is our top 50/10 game collections according to all of you. And in the description and hopefully comments this week, we will have our next poll. We want to know your top 10 bosses or top 10 characters that consist of a head and 2 floating hands.
And there are many of them.
There's a lot. There are a lot of those type of characters out there. You might have to search a little bit or think a little bit, but we want your top head and hands.
Yeah. No arms visible. Arms implied? Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. But, it could be characters like the clown guy from Chrono Trigger to Bowser and Mario Wonder to the 2 bosses we talked about in the Zelda top 10.
Zelda's got many. There are many floating hand Zelda bosses.
Mm-hmm. Yep. They has to be a head and 2 hands. Master Hand does not count. He's just a hand.
Yep.
And yes, having other limbs cancels out. So Rayman does not count. You want characters like Andros. That sort of thing. I am going to be very curious to see what pops up on this one. So yeah, should be fun. April Fool's Day, just to get silly up in here. So thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please consider subscribing to GVG, hitting the like button and ringing that bell. We also have a Patreon at patreon.com/GVGaming with plenty of extra perks. So until next time, bye.